before from the end.
Thank you, everyone, for your warm and enthusiastic reception. The name of my report is the Every Single Day in the 3-year expedition of Captain Meriwether Lewis and Captain William Clark. I'm sure you'll find it fascinating as well as lengthy. Thorough. The first day of their famous adventure, the two explorers woke up, made breakfast, ate breakfast, washed the dishes, went for a canoe ride, made lunch, ate their lunch. Their lunch was good. It was venison, berries, potatoes. Quiet! I'm trying to report. How rude. Who could that be anyway? We're back! What's going on here? We're back. We're back?
We're back from the expedition.
All the way to the Pacific Ocean and back in just 2.5 years.
We would have been here sooner, but the last thing we realized was in the pits.
Yeah, that traffic on the Missouri River was unbelievable. Yeah, it was. Rough. Wait a minute, just wait a 1 minute here. The expedition of Lewis and Clark? That's Clark and Lewis? Don't try to confuse me, mister. I know that the expedition of Lewis and Clark and Lewis, or whatever, happened almost 200 years ago, in the years 1804 to 1806.
Wow, I guess that last 100 miles was harder than I thought.
You can't be the Lewis and Clark. Beth, do you think it could be the Clark and Lewis? Well, I don't see how.
I'm quite certain that Meriwether Lewis, the person commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson to lead the expedition.
That's right, he is. And I'm William Clark, the big the captain that was asked to make the trip.
And I'm Shelby, a clumsy guide and interpreter. At least I think I am. Am I?
I'm Simon Juliet, the guide for the group and chairman and his wife.
You are? I mean, yes, you is. I mean, you was. I mean, you were. I mean, I did.
Oh, brother.
I'm certain that I'm the slave who made the trip. They call me York.
Ralph, I'm the dog skinny, did you tell? Yep, she's the dog, all right. No doubt about it. I'm so confused. My research is sure to come into scrutiny if what you are telling me is true.
Research?
Yes, you see, I was supposed to give a report to the class about the adventures of Lewis and Clark. Yeah, I know, Clark and Lewis. I don't care if you're Jerry and Tom. My research says that you've been back since 1806, then why should I not believe anything I say?
Don't get upset, no, little girl. I'll explain the whole thing to you.
Yep, we'll give you your first-hand account of our whole trip. It was wonderful.
It was eventful.
It was eye-opening.
well, don't exactly shoot. We've had quite enough of that for a while.
Yeah, tell her how you shot Captain Lewis right in rear because you thought he was an elk shot, you know?
Ooh, yeah, that was rough.
Oh, she doesn't want to hear about it.
Neither do I. What I don't understand is why President Jefferson was so keen on having you do the trip in the first place. After all, the territory wasn't even a part of the United States at the time, was it?
No, it sure wasn't, but Jefferson had already dispatched two very capable fellows.
James Monroe and Robert Livingston.
And France had tried to buy land from Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, who was in way over his head from fighting wars all over Europe.
Not that over his head was very high, but frankly, dear, he was pretty well over. Sounds like a good time for a deal, my dear. Look over there.
Gentlemen, we better do it. She is the guide, you know.
Gentlemen, all eyes, hopes, and fixed on you and the event in this mission, hence the future destinies of this republic.
No kidding, Mr. President.
Gee. Heavy stuff, isn't it?
Really rough. So you see, Monroe and Livingston got a lot more than they really needed.
Yeah, like 860,000 square miles.
Kind of like blue-eyed special land deals.
The truth is, we didn't even know what American rode when we set off on our journey.
I thought we were just going on a little canoe ride or something.
Many Americans had some strange ideas in our ownership at that time of history.
You can say that again. Well, let's get back to the trip itself. So you headed out from St. Louis with a couple of canoes and keeled boats. Was the trip everything you hoped it would be?
Are you kidding? It was the adventure of a lifetime.
It was spectacular.
It was enlightening.
magnificent.
It was glorious.
It was stupendous.
Wait, stop, hold it. I can't believe what I'm hearing, and I'm known to have a pretty good sense of ear. Good grief, fellas, give me some music. Now, baby, let me give it to you straight. From one who made the entire trip on 4 little paws and not a hydrant in sight. They can tell you it was this great adventure full of romance, excitement, and thrill. But let me tell you right now that no matter what they say and no matter how they say it, the truth of the matter is that the whole doggone trip was absolutely, positively, undeniably rough. Gnats, flies, ticks and fleas, a lot of you mosquitoes and bees, rats and worms, snakes and squirms, and anything that's come to terms. They say it's great adventure and all that kind of stuff. But including baby, from one to the rough. Traveling every day's rough, rough. Never time to day's rough, rough. Sleeping in the hay, getting in the maze, trying to run away, man, I gotta say. There were snakes and bears, no one cares, especially when you're covered there. Snow and sleet, snakes and bees, especially when there's nothing to eat. They say it's great adventure and all that kind of stuff. But that including baby, from one to the rough. Flying around the snakes rough, rough. They could be alligators rough, rough. All through the lake, letting you take me to me a break. It's something to say. Boy, that does sound rough. No kidding, lady.
Well, scanning is right to a certain degree with all the miserable weather, wild animals, and trying to keep the native population from doing this. And
What about the native populations? What was their reactions from their visits from the east?
You'd better ask Sacagawea. She probably knows the best answers to those.
She is the guide, you know.
And your wife?
She is, or I mean, yes, she is. Wow.
It's true, we never would have made it without Secretary and guides as guide and tutor.
Sacagawea, how did your people respond from their visits from the east?
Oh, my friend, most of the tribes welcomed all of us with open arms. They shared with us their food, their homes, and their friendship. They did not feel there was any reason to be afraid.
In most instances, we were visitors in the world that are already inhabited for generations, a world that already called home.
my question now is, how did you ever really know where you were going in the wilderness?
It was quite, and it wasn't always easy, but with the help of Sammy, Cooey, and other guys along the way, plus the stars and sun and the river current, the direction was usually quite obvious.
Actually, it was our expert mastering of the sciences of astronomy, geography, geometry, physics, meteorology, and all of the earth sciences, matched with our innate sense of direction, line and flow we got used, and from our manifest destination with nary a single disconnect.
In other words, we got lucky.
Well, I guess that explains it. Now, York, how are you to be far away from home?
I've always been a long ways from home, miss. Out in the west of a whole new land, I think I felt more free than I ever have.
What was that sharp now?
It's a Shoshone word that means strength.
The truth is, I guess we were all strangers in one from one another in this strange new land.
I know, I'm strange.
Hey, Baloney, what a beautiful word.
It's funny how sometimes even in a crowd, a person can feel really alone.
Stranger Really?
That was bad, all right, but I think the worst days were those we spent on the Nesbitt's out on the Columbia River. We ate nothing but salmon and dog meat for weeks on end.
Ah, yes, the Columbia, that's for sure when we were going to make it to the Pacific.
After making it past Great Falls in Missouri, I thought I'd never want to see another Russian river again.
We had to go over the entire chain of the Rocky Mountains, needless to say, we were pretty bad.
Then Captain Clark discovered a large river we called Clearwater that led us straight into the mighty Columbia.
We also met up with the Nesbitt's Indians who saved their lives through kindness and generosity.
They fed us and helped us with dug out canoes that got us back on the beautiful river, making its tumbling dashes.
Waters,
Didn't do elementary. Did not do elementary.
You were lucky you survived.
What?
But you were lucky you didn't have to start. Get sick?
I can't look.
Oh dear, I must have fallen asleep. Hey, where'd everyone go? Clark, Lewis. Oh dear. You mean it was all nothing but a dream? But it felt so real. Guess it was too good to be true. Lewis, Clark, Julia, is it really you? Oh, hi Julie, it's only you. Cassie, I'll absolutely never believe what happened to me. I was working on my report about King Arthur and his knights of the Royal Round Table, and Joe never guessed we came knocking on my door.
King Arthur and his knights?
No, that'd be impossible. They've been dead for hundreds of years.
Well, who then?
Two guys named Clark and Lewis and a whole group just back from a cross-country expedition.
Thank you for coming out to our production. We'll go ahead and dismiss the students first, and if